Another project sort of done correctly. So anyways, it's only been a week since I sort of fixed the AC, really cleaned it off and put it back together in one piece. But, I realized that I still hadn't finished the, the project where, I block out the blinding LED lights from the neighbor, not to be confused with the LED lights from the city thing, Anyway, so whenever I take a bath, there was a problem with the... we'll take a look at that upstairs. But the point is, you can't find a good solution for this, right? It's just like, it's a given that, people just put on these shitty LED lights everywhere now and you can't do anything about it. But I couldn't take a bath up there anymore because it was just bothering me, So I said, let me use that project board, that chloroplast or something. I don't know if I even have I probably threw that away. I threw the project thing away. The big problem with it is it's good for the outdoors because it's waterproof, which is, it's near the shower, so near a bath, it's good to be waterproof. The problem with it was you couldn't glue them together. So you couldn't buy a big enough thing to cut from one big piece. And then I went to Michael's and bought like 3 of them, and I glued them together. It didn't work. I tried super glue, the other glue. It didn't work. And I look it up and they're like, yeah, it's very difficult to glue these together. I'm like, okay. So I threw that fucking thing away, And then I ordered some ABS plastic, which is what we saw here. This was 1/8 of an inch. It's probably a little too much. 1/16 would be better. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to cut this? It's like hard plastic. They're like, oh, score it. I'm like, what does that mean? So I tried a couple things, but this crappy box cutter or whatever this is, I had to take this apart. I had to take out the old blade, reverse it, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. I then made a mess on the carpet because I wanted to have a Sharpie, a red Sharpie, and mark the line. I don't have a straight edge, right? I don't have like a 90-degree angle thing, so it's like, how do you measure the straight line? So what a disaster. And then I had to clean the carpet because I tried to wipe the red stuff off. It got on the carpet. Oh, I got that fixed. And then it's hard to score it because you make a little cut on it and it's hard to... So I said, I have an oscillating tool from the time I didn't finish the project in the bathroom. This thing. And the only thing it could do is it could cut maybe like 1/8 of an inch into it. It didn't go any further. I was like, what the hell is this? Not that I had the precision to be able to cut it clean anyways, but it cut just a little bit into it, and then I could snap it a little bit easier. So I snapped both pieces. This was $30 to buy, so not the cheapest thing for a piece of shit, but, it works. And now let's take it upstairs to show what I mean. Okay. All right. So let's do this nonsense here. So this is the bathroom. And right here is the problem, especially when you turn the lights off and you go in the tub here, because of this fucking thing right here. You see this? Oh, it's so obnoxious, isn't it? It reflects off the paint. It's just awful, You want to take a bath here, and it's just a disaster in here. Maybe if it's a bit foggy, it's not that bad, but I just hate it, And, of course, you just have to suffer in silence here with these things, Because you can't, it's just, you can't demand that people take this down. I talked to the owner, or whoever the fuck was here, a while back, and they just positioned, because it used to be, and I mentioned this before, the lights used to directly blast into here. They changed that. They moved it down. But it used to be that there's a motion sensor on it. And whenever a raccoon would go by, which is every 5 minutes, it would just blast in here. Okay, so they changed that. They put it down, but it's on all night long now. So the motion sensor is off, but there's like a light sensor. And I was like, what the hell is this? First of all, who the fuck needs it out there? Like, it's these insecurity lights, because you're going to be staring. Who's going to come? Of course, no one's staring there, if you're that paranoid, go buy a camera and has like night vision in it or something and send an alert to your phone or something. Or even better, you know, have a proper alert thing when, you know, an actual person's moving around there, not a raccoon. And then that's it. All right? But just in case, put this light up there to destroy the night sky and my sanity. But anyway, so this solution. Now the problem is it's kind of heavy. I don't want this falling on me when I'm in the bathtub, but I figured out a way here accidentally. You know, so if we put this here, it's kind of a tight fit. Oh boy. Let's see here. It's kind of hard to... All right, so we see this right here. Now, the tile grooves here, or the grout, whatever we want to call it. Actually, hold on, let's see. Oh boy. Hold on, let me, see like this, the grout line here? That is actually what it exactly gets into, I think. Okay. You see this? It's like almost perfect because it's a little bit like it grabs it here a little bit. It's a pretty tight fit. It's pretty good on the sides. I took a little bit more off on the sides. And then if you cut it wrong and you take too little off, it is hard to cut just 1/8 of an inch or whatever. But this is just tight enough at the top to where it literally hugs itself into the grout line there. You know, and hopefully it doesn't spring out and just fly into my face. But notice what happens here. You turn off all the lights here. Okay. And it's pitch black. You can, if I take it here, you can maybe, I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but on the side here you can see a little bit. But you can like move it over. Hold on. It's not impossible to take out. It's actually not that hard. And once you put it in, it's actually a pretty tight fit on the grout line. Like it's perfect, I think. You know? So now, so if you push this over here, there's a little bit of a gap, but most of the window frame itself kind of protects any light coming here. There's a little bit of light coming here, but if you push this all the way here, there's no light here. So this is actually perfect. I was like tearing my hair out. That's the cause. And now this looks pretty good. I mean, it's a piece of crap project, and you know, but ABS sheets or whatever. Then again, if you go with a 1/16 of an inch, then maybe it's too floppy. You know, and then that's the problem, and then it doesn't prop itself up. Because I was thinking I could maybe put like some 2-liter bottles of club soda filled up, and then it won't fly off. But there's just enough room to where it gets in the groove here, as we can see. Like the tile grout groove or whatever you want to call it, the tile thing, the grout, it just gets in there, and it doesn't fall off. It's just perfect, and there's just enough tightness up top. You can take it out, you can put it in. It's like I did this perfectly, you know. As it turns out, this is pretty good. I like it. So we'll do some more bathtub, because we used to do bathtub videos here with the ducky. Remember those? Those are fun. So I think we'll do more of that, and then, you know, then again, I mean, yeah, we can do a lot more in here, and then, yeah, this is great. Look at this. It's a total black. Look at that. I like it. So anyways, that's it for now. My band card is renewed, although again, the AC was fixed or whatever a week ago. I did that. Maybe we can paint that finally. Maybe we can paint that. I'm pretty sure I've told that story. It doesn't really matter. It's because of all the humidity over the years. They did repaint the ceiling at some point, but of course that's how they repainted it, is they didn't bother to take out the old paint that was already kind of drooping off. Well, they sort of did, but they did a bad job and then they stopped doing it. No, well, you know what, let's go into it, because this is why I don't hire people to do these big projects, is you pay them a lot and then the solutions are shit. But let's see how shit the solution is. You know, so let's see here. Hopefully the camera comes through, because you can see what they were thinking. They weren't thinking much and they weren't thinking a lot, but they were thinking. Okay, and we can see it. So you notice how the well, take my word for it, the pattern here is different than here. This one surprisingly did not come off. I think this was when they tried to pattern match the texture, and then they're like, oh, that's going to take forever because we have to do the whole thing, so we'll just do it here shittily, and then, oh yeah, we won't do that. And then here, you can almost see, maybe see, that there's no pattern there. The shadows are kind of, there's no pattern like right here, but there is. So what they did was they left, that was already peeled off. They smeared some paint over it. You can see it here too. The shadows are not really cooperating with us. But the point is, this part does not have pattern. You can kind of tell, right? So this stuff fell off originally. They didn't bother to texturize it because it was too hard to do that here and it doesn't look 100%. So they just smeared it. They just sprayed it with some paint, whatever. And then the fact that all this other stuff was kind of peeling, they didn't care. So I started peeling a little bit of it because things were kind of falling already down here. And I'm like, okay, how far can it go? Well, pretty far. And when I moved in maybe 6 years ago, you could see a small little crack there. But that whole thing is coming. Now, thankfully, that's not the whole roof. It's just the paint separating from the drywall because it's humid and that just eats into it. But it's just the sloppiness, you know, where it's just, oh, paint it. And it's like, okay, we'll smear everything and, ugh. So anyways, I don't know. I don't know if I'm up for a paint thing, you know, repairing the, you know, because it's like, who cares? I don't care, you know, it's just, ugh. Anyways, on that note, I do, you know, I can't do basic things, you know, this is pretty good. It looks like it's just the perfect fit. It's easy to take in, but there's just enough tension there. I like it. So anyways, that's it for now, and yeah, that's it.